Many of you already know me. I'm Luefras, and had a few things on my mind tonight while I was preparing for bed. I'm sure many of you are preparing for bed, getting your minds together for church in the morning. For those of you who worship in the morning, and I was thinking about relationship. I got good response to my online dating video, and I'm working on some other segments for that topic. But I was sitting here thinking about, and I don't know why it just popped in my head, why don't we get references before we get in a committed relationship? I touched on it a little bit in the online dating video about how we don't do our due diligence before we decide to commit to someone. And I looked at the analogy of a job, how before we're hired, you know, there's a process, there's a vetting. We don't just focus on one person. We take our time and we talk to people and get their perspectives, find out what they are capable of, what they're actually bringing to the table. And the other part of that process is references. And it was like a light bulb went off in my head tonight. Like, why don't we get references? And especially when we're meeting people online. I mean, it's no longer the case of you're talking to someone that you went to high school with, you live in the same neighborhood, live in the same city. And I remember growing up, my parents, when I, started, because I wasn't really allowed to date until I was like 18 years old. And even then it was under very, very strict circumstances. So when I would bring up a name, now my parents could speak very good English, obviously, and had very good command of grammar, etc. But the question always was, who is their people? And it would upset me because I would always come back, that has nothing to do with anything. Why do you always want to know who their parents are, or where they want to know who the parents were, where are they from, because normally they could take the last name and go, oh yeah, I know them, oh, you want to stay away from them. And I thought it was being judgmental. But think about it. That's how they did things back in the day. A lot of their relationships were kind of arranged because they knew somebody in the neighborhood, or they went to church with somebody. Oh yeah, Nancy's girl is single, and oh yeah, that would make a nice person for so and so. And everyone knew each other, so you kind of had some good data going into it. So my question tonight is, I don't think it's a problem to ask for references. And I know I'm going to have people come on and go, are you serious? Really? I'm so serious. I think when you meet someone and you reach that point of making a decision, because there are so many unknowns. So you say, why? Well, it's your life, just like a job. Why do they ask for references? Because they want to know about what you were like in other environments. They want to talk to people who had an opportunity to be around you for an extended length of time. They always want to hear from a former supervisor, someone who knew you personally. I think if you're dating someone, I think a good person, I would want to talk to their pastor, a relative, a good friend, a coworker. I don't think that's out of the question. And again, I know that sounds so extreme, but I just wanted to leave you something to ponder about. Before you jump into a committed relation, because we're talking about time. You invest all of this time in something because they look good and they're saying the right things, and you go into it with honest intentions. And even with references, obviously, jobs, sometimes they don't work out. Same thing with relationships. I'm just saying, having references would add another layer of information, because what did we talk about in the first video? Getting information. We don't have enough information before we go into committed relationships. We don't. And I'm just saying we need to step up our game. That's for women and men. I think both people should exchange references. So again, guys, don't come at me because I'm talking about you too. You should get references. We don't talk about guys getting broken hearted, but guys get broken hearts as well. So it's not always about us women, but I'm just saying. So comment. Let me know what you think. I think we should ask for references on both sides. And, maybe we've gotten a little too advanced. And we need to go back to some of those old school approaches that worked. I mean, we have such a high rate of divorce now. Maybe we hear about it more now, but no, divorce is off the chain. And just relationships not working out. And I think if we have more information going in, it just makes sense. So let me know what you think. All right. This is Luefras with Luefras TV. Good night.